Most people never think of where the food they are eating came from. They never think of the process the animal had to go through to end up on their plates. They don't realize how pigs, cows, chicken, and other animals raised for food suffer miserably. There's acceptable and non-acceptable production systems. Extensive production systems are adequate while intensive production systems are cruel. Extensive production systems use land to substitute for technology, while intensive production systems disturb less land but use more inputs that have the potential to cause many issues. Intensive systems are more reliant on concentrates, and extensive systems are usually more based on forage and grass. Intensive systems could lead to the end of the countryside as we know it by taking away all the land the animals have to roam. We tend to opt for intensive systems because they are more cost-effective and result in higher yields. But people don't realize that behind closed doors, those animals spend most of their lives in crowded, waste-filled, and small sheds where they are punished for no reason and never able to breathe fresh air. Most can barely turn around and are never provided with outside roaming access. Without outdoor space, the animals are not able to engage in natural behaviors, and they can experience severe physical and mental issues. Farm animals are often beaten, mutilated, and painfully slaughtered. Animals should be provided with good housing, feeding, and care. Most issues in intensive production systems have to do with the environment, including thermal, lighting, air quality, noise, and surfaces. The temperature could potentially cause heat stress or cold stress. This could be caused by the air temperature, humidity, and weather conditions. Animals should have access to natural lighting for their health and behavior patterns, but many are not, and the unnatural lighting is used to create longer days and promote growth. Air quality is an important factor for health reasons. Most animals will be provided with poor air quality, such as gases and dust in the air. Proper ventilation is normally not provided and leads to respiratory discomfort and disease. Most of the unclean air comes from waste buildup, which can cause burning to the eyes and throat. Many animals have very high stress and fear due to exposure of sudden or loud noises from machinery and equipment. Flooring, bedding, and resting surfaces for the animals are inhumane. They are not given enough space to rest nor lie down. Most are housed in a slated floor that have gap widths too large, causing the animals' hooves to get stuck, resulting in injuries. Animals raised for food are among the least protected class of animals. Chickens are the most abused animals. They are crammed together on top of one another's feces and corpse. Many chickens die of heart attacks and stress. The systems feed them the wrong diet, and they grow so large that they are unable to move on their own, and they cannot reach food or water. They are fed antibiotics to help stimulate growth, but those antibiotics often cause heart and lung disease. Handlers are very harmful with the chickens and beat them and throw them around. Many of their beaks get seared off without painkillers. Hens are kept in crowded wired cages where they are unable to move one wing, and when they are not able to produce as much as wanted, they get starved. Most cattle have their horns chopped off and are branded. Most illnesses and injuries go untreated in cattle. Dairy cows are treated as milk machines. They are pushed to their physical limits to produce such high quantities of milk. They are at a greater risk of health problems, including mastitis, a painful udder infection, lameness, and infertility. The cows are impregnated annually to keep the milk flowing. Their babies are torn from them as soon as born, causing distress for both of them. Cattle used for beef are crammed into crates and are unable to turn around or lie down, and often get their legs stuck in the holes. Their diets often cause them to be very weak. Pigs are confined to tiny stalls and will go insane to the lack of stimulation. After birth, pigs have their ears and tails chopped off and are castrated fully conscious. When the pigs are not grown quickly enough, they are killed in torturous ways. Similar to chickens, the pigs often grow too fast and are unable to walk properly due to it. Many of these sick and injured animals are kept in misery because of the profit they could provide. Many animals are moved by getting beaten. The animals are fed an unnatural diet that is hard on their body and causes illnesses and pain. Energy, protein, amino acids, mineral, and vitamin contents of the diet are major factors determining the growth. Feed efficiency, reproductive efficiency, and body composition. Cattle in intensive production systems typically consume diets that contain a high portion of grains and a smaller portion of roughage. As the portion of the grain increases in the diet, the relative risk of digestive upset in the cattle increases. As you can see, intensive production systems are hurting not only animals but the human health also. According to the ASPCA, farms that are not properly maintained can be breeding grounds for salmonella and E. coli, which are passed to humans through meat, dairy, and eggs. To combat these unsanitary conditions, animals are fed large doses of antibiotics. But bacteria is constantly adapting and evolving. Antibiotics abuse creates the potential for dangerous new drug-resistant strains of bacteria to develop and spread among people. Waste runoff from factory farms pollutes the water, land, and air in neighboring communities, compromising both human health and quality of life. At the same time, these businesses consume massive quantities of precious, finite resources, including water and fossil fuels. All in all, intensive production systems do no good for anyone. They are a harm to humans and animals, and the only way to stop the problem is through the consumers. The consumers must take action by not buying or supporting their products.